Morning.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Sleepy?
Yeah,
I
actually.
imagine. What time do you start working?
Usually at night.
At 9 or at night?
At night o'clock.
Ah, okay. So you have time for breakfast and all those stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And to
Okay.
sleep.
To sleep more. All right. I mean, sounds good. Sounds good. Why not? How is the platform going?
80 something. I don't remember right now. Let me check.
Ah, but you're working. That's great. I'm going to check your advance on Friday. Well, from everyone. So remember that we need to complete it. Okay. We are
Okay.
about to finish. Basically, we only have this week and 2 days of the next week. So few time. So where are your classmates? My goodness. Are they
Uh,
sleeping?
I'm
Yes, I
on.
can see 82 you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, very good. Just a little bit more and you will finish the platform. Excellent. Very
That,
good.
that's the idea.
Nice job. Very good. Do you feel the platform is complicated or is kind of easy?
Um, there are some questions that are tricky, but the majority are easy.
That's the idea. Very good. So remember that you are already intermediate. So for you, the platform is just one of the math tools that you can use in order to continue practicing. Okay.
Okay.
Now we are in the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. All right, guys. So weekend is coming and don't forget to complete the speaking activity. Okay, you still have time. Remember that you have until tomorrow at midnight. So you have 2 more days in order to do that. Okay. So don't forget it, don't forget it. That's the last audio that we are going to send. Remember that for the next week, we are going to have speaking evaluation, but it's going to be here in the class. Okay. On Friday, I'm going to give you the instructions how that evaluation is going to be. Okay. So be careful with that. Now let's see. Okay, I can see more people now. I can see Paola. Hello, Paola. How are you?
Hello, teacher. Good morning.
How
I'm
do you
fine.
feel? Much better?
Ah, yeah, much better.
All right, I'm
But
happy to hear that.
I don't want to go to the office because I prefer stay at home.
Yeah, definitely. I totally understand. Well, try to rest. It's good for you.
Thank you. Yes.
All right. Hello, Ricardo. How are you?
Hi, Clarissa. Good morning. I'm
How do you
fine.
feel? Ah, very good. And I can see
Yeah.
Michelle. Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
Morning. Pretty fine, thanks.
Excellent. Well, guys, welcome to the class and thank you so much for being on time. Now we are going to combine the speaking class and we are going to check one more type of questions that we couldn't see yesterday. So can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Basically, this is the last topic of the unit number 4. Okay, so tomorrow we will start in the unit number 5, and that's the last one. Okay, so everybody, we are about to finish this level. You are about to finish intermediate 2. Congratulations. Now, today is May 24th. Just a reminder about the platform. Don't forget that by the end of this week, you need to complete the platform. Okay, 100%. Some of you had 80%, some of you got 90%, so that's great. So, but some of you need to work a lot. So be careful, everyone. Remember, 100% by the end of the week. Now, we studied the double H questions. We have different types of double H questions. For example, the ones with an auxiliary, okay? And in these type of questions, we include the ones with the verb to be. So this is like the most commons. We have double each word, auxiliary, subject, and the verb. Is it clear the structure of this type of questions? Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Let's do a practice. I have here a wheel with different double H words. So we're going to spin the wheel and you have to ask a question using one of them. And your classmates will answer the question. But try to make an interesting question. For example, if you say where, don't ask, where do you live or where are you from? No, let's try to ask another interesting question. If you have a question with what, don't ask, what's your favorite color? No, let's try to ask a little interesting questions. You can use the grammar tense that you prefer. Present, future, past, present perfect, the ones that you prefer, okay? So, who wants to be the first one?
Me.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Let's see what will be your double each word. Okay, ask a question. Classmates, you will answer her question, okay? Go ahead.
Okay. Who are your favorite actress? Actress?
Actress? Okay,
Actress.
okay, everyone, who are your favorite actress? Can I say that?
With
Why? Why do you think that it is?
singular.
What happens here, guys? Is he correct? Everyone, what do you think?
Yes, I think is who is your favorite actress because it's third person.
That's the one. So be careful there, please.
But I don't get it, please. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
get it.
What happens is this. You said, who are
Okay,
your
yeah.
favorite
Okay.
actress?
Okay,
So
okay.
singular. In this case, remember, if you want to say it in plural, you just need to say actresses, right? No problem. But in this case, the idea is who is. Everyone, answer. Who's your favorite actress?
My favorite actress is Anne Hathaway. I like her
Okay. I
too
love
much.
her. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great. Boys, and you?
In my
Favorite
case, I think
actress?
it's Meryl Streep.
Yeah, she's a goddess. Who else? Any other one? But you don't have favorite actress. Okay, now, very good question. Everybody, just remember, be careful with the verb to be and the subject. If it is third person, we need to switch. Now, Michelle, pick one of your classmates, please.
Ricardo.
Okay, now, Ricardo, you have to ask a question.
Okay.
You have to use... All right. Go ahead, ask a question. Remember, guys, you can use the verb to be or you can use an auxiliary and the grammar tense that you prefer. Go ahead.
Let me see. Why is it important to have a balanced diet?
That's a good question. Everyone. If I don't have volunteers to answer, I will pick one.
I think it's important not just for your currently health, also because you have to think in your future. And if we eat in a healthy way and try to have a healthy lifestyle, at the end, in the future, when we be old, I don't know, it's our
When we get old.
when we get old, we maybe will have a better life quality.
Sounds
So
good.
that is the reason that I think.
I like that. That makes sense. And you guys, do you have any other reason? No? All right. Just to give you an idea, exactly the practice that we are doing here, similar is going to be the last speaking evaluation. Okay? Maybe not with the wheel, okay? But the idea is your classmate will ask questions. You just have to listen to the questions and then answer them. Of course, the questions will be specific about something, right? I will tell you later, but that is gonna be about, okay? Now, Ricardo, pick one of your classmates, please.
Robert.
Okay, thank you, Robert. You have to ask a question using... All right, very good. Go ahead, ask a question.
What is the best site to go to lunch in Aplaudo?
Did you say what or where?
Oh, where? Sorry.
Yeah.
What is the best place to go to lunch in Aplaudo?
Okay, guys.
I have gaps with his question. It's okay if I say where it's the best place. Yeah, right?
Yeah, because in this case, we are using superlative. That means you will say the place that is the top, the best one.
But it's the same if I say what is. And in
What happens is that, remember, in this case, where is the best place is specifically by a place. But if you say what is, also makes sense. So in this case, both will be correct. Because
okay.
in the end, we are talking about an object, a thing, right? So because it's a place, we say where.
Okay. Okay, well, asking the question to Robert, I think the best place to launch at Florida is the area, the expansion. Do you remember the expansion, guys? Near the stairs, las escaleras,
The stairs?
the stairs. Well, I think that's the best place because it's alone, so I'm quiet.
What's the name of the place? That's what my point. I don't remember.
Think that you are in the office, and do you remember the expansion, the second area that we opened?
I'm not sure it's
recently?
Elvis.
Elvis Tech. Elvis
Yeah.
Tech? Yeah, but not the original Elvis Tech. I mean the second one. So I think that's the best.
Oh, you mean inside of Applaud? I
Yeah,
mean,
inside the
Yeah,
office.
inside.
Right.
okay, I got it.
So, and you liked it because it's not so crowded? That's what he said?
Yes.
And quiet. Sounds good, sounds good. All right, Robert, pick someone, please.
Jacqueline.
All right, hello, Jacqueline. How are you?
Good morning, team. I just joined the class.
Yeah, I know. So, do you want to participate or do you want to see first what are we going to do?
I want to see first.
Okay, so pick someone, please.
Okay, let me see who is in the call. Fernando?
All right, Fernando, are you there? Or you just entered too?
Just enter, but I can try.
All right, no worries. What we are just doing is, depending on the double H word that is chosen, you just have to ask a question, but interesting questions, all right? If you say, what's your name? That's not valid. In this moment, you can use questions with the verb to be or with an auxiliary in the grammar tense that you prefer, okay? So, ask a question using, all right, go ahead. You can use it with the verb to be or with an auxiliary in present, in past, in future, the grammar tense that you prefer. And your classmates will answer. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm thinking. um, um, how do you feel the current economic is?
Okay, guys, what do you think?
Could you repeat, Fernando?
How do you feel the current economic is?
How do you feel the currently economic is? I mean, verb to be at the end, is?
Think I try to make a not common question.
No, but I mean, the question is fine. There is only one detail. I'm going to write it. I'm sorry, is how. Okay, how do you feel the current economy, economy is? This is your question, Fernando?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, there is only one detail. If you have here the auxiliary, do I need a verb to be?
No.
In this case, remember that we cannot combine like those things in the same sentence. So in this case, what you can say is, how do you feel the current economy? The is, in this case, it's not necessary, okay? Or you can ask the indirect questions that are the questions that we already studied. But in that case, remember that there are like two sentences in the same, so we can combine it. So you can say, what do you think? Or what's your opinion? Or another ones, but you have to divide it. And you can say, the current economy is, but you have to start with an introducing phrase. In this case, because it's not an indirect question, the best option is this. How do you feel about the current economy? We can add that preposition here, about, okay? Everybody, what will be the answer?
The economic is really bad. We have really high inflation.
And you guys?
I think the current economy is uncertain because, well, everything is expensive. And as Robert said, we have a high inflation. And I am a little bit worried about the houses and the building market because the houses are so expensive. And
Yeah.
I am a little bit worried because I think I won't be able to buy a house in the future for myself.
Actually, you are right, guys. I saw some advertisements, and in Houston, houses are cheaper than here in El Salvador. That's crazy. I mean, come
Yes.
on. And I mean, I'm talking about Houston houses are like bigger. They even have a pool. And here in El Salvador, it's like very small. They don't have a pool. And come on, it's crazy. All right, nice questions, everybody. Excellent job. Now, just remember when we are talking about questions with an auxiliary, just don't forget the structure. Keep it simple, double H word, auxiliary or the verb to be, subject, and then the main verb. If you have the complement, you can add it. Is it clear, this type of questions? This is like the most common questions, like the questions that we use every day. Clear? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Now we have another type of questions that is the questions with modals. We studied that yesterday and the structure is the same, but instead of having like an auxiliary or the verb to be, we need a modal. Okay, let's have another practice. I'm going to have the random wheel here and you just have to ask a question with the modals that appears here. Do I have a volunteer? Who wants to try?
I
Me.
want to try.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Jacqueline and then Salvador. Thank you. Remember, the idea is to ask interesting question. Don't ask yes, no questions. Try to include a double H word, okay? Let's see, let's see. Ask a question using. Very good. Have to. Go ahead. Ask a question to your classmates.
Okay, let me think about it.
Mhm. Any idea about have to? Remember, try to include a double H word.
Who have to drive? Who had to drive me to the mall?
Who have to drive you to the mall?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone? Is that correct?
I think she's missing wool or the model, sorry.
Is missing? I'm sorry.
The model that you mentioned.
Well, in this case, the ones that she has to use is have to. Now, she is asking a question, and this is what we are going to see right now. What happens when I have questions with who, right? In this case, we don't have a subject, right? So she says, who have to drive me to the mall? In this case, we don't have a
Answer could
subject.
be Mauricio.
Okay, now in this case, everybody, it's something that you have to keep in mind. When we have this type of questions, who in simple present, we need to imagine the question as in third person. Okay, so you have to say, who has to drive me to the mall? Okay, imagine that is in third person. Got it?
Okay.
And in this case, what is going to be the answer?
Oscar.
All right. Now, Salvador, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Salvador, you had to ask a question using...
Need to.
Yes, very good. Go ahead.
Mm,
You can use the double-edged questions that you prefer.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I get it.
Go ahead.
Who needs pardon, sorry. Who needs to sleep at 9 a.m.?
Okay. Guys, do you need it? Okay, answer the question, please. Go ahead.
No, I don't. I actually have a coffee right now.
You good. That's the attitude. Drink coffee, guys. All right. Now, as I said before, something like this will be the last evaluation. One of your classmates will ask a question and you have to answer it. And of course, as many details as possible. Okay. Now, if you see, this is the same structure. When we use modal verbs, it's the same structure as if you use different words, different verbs. The structure is the same. Now, Salvador, can you pick someone, please?
Oh, okay. Paola.
Okay, Paola, are you ready?
Yes.
Ask a question using... Okay, he already asked a question using need to, so you can use must. Must was the closest one, so go ahead.
Okay. Must is mandatory. Oh my God, let me think. An interesting question. Okay. What is the thing or task that you must to do every day?
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, drink a cup of coffee in the morning. That's the activity that I need
It's
to.
a must, drinking coffee.
But
yeah, it's a
is
must in my
that
life.
is that an obligation?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, it is your own personal obligation.
Yeah.
All right. How about you guys? What will be the answer to that question?
I mean, the most important obligation we have is to wake up early before the working hours, so we get.
Yeah, definitely.
I think wake up early before the English class.
Excellent. Extra point. Very good. All right. Excellent. Look, remember, if you ask a question using must, we usually answer using the best one. So you can say, well, one of my obligations is that I must wake up early before my English class, right? And so on and so on. Okay, but you see, it's very easy as questions with modals because it's the same structure. Any questions so far, guys, about asking questions with modals?
Would it be possible to write the last question?
Of course. So she said, can you repeat it literally? You say, what are the most important tasks, right? Or what is?
Yes, but what is the what is the thing or task that you must to do every day?
Thank you. Like this? Every day?
Every day, yeah.
What is the thing or task that you must do every day? Very good. Now, these are the typical questions when we use an auxiliary or a modal. If you see the order, first of all, you need the double H word. Then you need the auxiliary or the verb to be, depending on the type of questions that you are asking. Then you need the subject, right? And then the verb or just the complement. Okay? Pretty good. Any questions so far?
I could do that. This question. What the must. No. What must do every day? What
Okay.
must you do every day?
What must you do every day? What do you think, guys? Is that correct? Yes or no?
I think it's following the structure.
Yes.
So I think it's correct.
In this scenario, remember, do I need an auxiliary? Like, what do you must need to do? Do I need an auxiliary?
No.
No, right? I don't need it because remember that I have must. And if I have an auxiliary, I mean, if I have a modal, the modal doesn't need auxiliary. So the structure is the same. Look, double H word, modal, subject, the verb, complement. So this one is a good question. So,
And I said, what must be done every day?
okay, what, oops. What must be done every day? Like this? Actually, yes, you can say that. In this case, and this is what we are going to check right now, there are some questions that we don't have a subject. The double H word becomes our subject. Because if you see, I don't have a subject here. It doesn't say you, it doesn't say we or something. No, the word what is the subject. Let's see some example about those type of questions. Those are questions without an auxiliary verb. So what happens here? In this case, we can have questions using what, who, which, or who. Okay? In this type of questions, we don't have auxiliary verb because we don't have a subject. These questions becomes a subject. Okay? So let's see some examples. The structure that we need to follow is this. First of all, the double H word, but again, the only ones that we can use is what, who, which, or who. If you use where, doesn't apply. If you use why, doesn't apply. These are the only ones that can take the place of a subject. So after the double H word, we need the verb. It's not necessary the auxiliary. And then the rest of the sentence. For example, what fell off the wall? What am I asking here? What is the translation?
Se cayó de la pared.
Exactly. Do I know the object? Do I know, the subject who fell from the wall? Not really. No sé qué fue lo que se cayó. Okay? So that is exactly what I'm asking for. So, como estoy hablando de un objeto, no puedo usar who, because remember that who is only for people. Okay? Pero como lo que se cayó fue un objeto, no puedo usar who. En ese caso, tengo que usar what. I don't need an auxiliary. For example, I cannot say, what did fell from the wall? No, I don't need an auxiliary. Okay? Another example. Who bought this? What am I asking here?
¿Quién compró esto?
I'm sorry?
¿Quién compró esto?
Exactly. Am I talking about an object or a person?
A person.
A person. That's why I need to use who. Mhm. I don't need an auxiliary. And because I don't know the person, I don't need a subject in the question. Okay? La double-H word takes the function as a subject. So who bought this? It's not necessary to say who did buy this. Because I don't have a subject in the sentence. Si en la oración dijera you, okay, in that case, we can say that. But that's not the point because I don't know the subject. Also, we can use whose. Whose phone rang? Do you know what I'm asking here? What is the meaning of whose? Do you remember?
It's similar to who is el teléfono de quién son, ¿no?
Exactly. In this case, it's possessive. When I want to know the owner, in that case, we use whose. Okay? Now, we are going to check some examples. I know that these type of questions might be a little bit confusing. So let's see some examples. I will show you some sentences and I want you to think, do I need the auxiliary or not? Okay? Let me open up the sentences. Imagine this one. What will be the correct one? Who did do this or who did this? Which one do you think is the correct one?
The second.
The second one.
The second one. Do I need the subject here?
No.
No.
No, because I don't know the subject. That's the point. The subject is the ones that I'm trying to identify. Excellent. This is the correct one. How about this? Who put this here or who did put this here?
First.
The first one?
Mhm.
Everyone, what do you think?
Yes, the first one.
Yes, like, ¿quién puso esto aquí, right? I don't need an auxiliary here. Remember, this type of questions is only the double-H word, then the verb, and then the rest of the sentence. Okay? Next. What songs did Freddie Mercury sing with Montserrat, or what song Freddie Mercury sang with Montserrat? What would be the best option?
The second one?
Everybody, what do you think? Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, a question. Do I have a subject in this sentence?
We'll say the first since it's mentioned Freddie Mercury.
Ah, look. So be careful. Don't get confused. In this sentence, guys, I have a person, I have the subject that is performing the action now. So in this case, the question is like the typical one.
Mhm.
Okay? So not always is going to be the subject questions, just when you don't have someone to perform the action in the sentence. But if you have the subject, so in that case, you have to use the typical structure. Okay? Now, who did eat the cereal or who ate all the cereal? What do you think?
Who ate?
Do I have the subject here?
It's not necessary.
Not really, right? Exactly. So in this case, we say, who ate the cereal? Next. Where did you go for Christmas or where you went for Christmas?
First.
The first one, why?
It has you.
It has the subject, you. And remember, which double-H words can I use this structure?
What, who, whose?
Ah, did where apply?
No.
Never, right? So immediately when you see where, you say, I have to use the traditional structure with the auxiliary, okay? Let's see this one. Where did you buy those boots, or where you buy those boots?
The first one.
The first one. Again, look, where.
Mhm.
So you don't need the second structure, is the typical one. Okay, what about this one? Which band had a #1 single, or which band did have a #1 single? What do you think? What is the best option?
The number one.
The first option?
Yeah, the first option.
Everybody, do you agree?
The second one, I think, because first of all, which is,
Do I have which in the double H words that I can use without a subject?
no,
Are you sure?
no, really no.
Okay, look.
Yes,
Okay,
So we got what, who, which, or whose.
no,
Do I have a subject in this sentence? Do I have the name of the band or something?
No.
no, the first one.
So what will be the best option?
The first one.
The first one,
Yes,
yeah.
the first one. Exactly. So I know this type of questions, guys, might be a little bit confusing. So my recommendation is the following. Remember, if you don't have a subject, si la idea de la pregunta es encontrar el sujeto, entonces seguimos la estructura, right? Si yo quiero saber quién fue la que se comió el pastel, ok, entonces sigo la estructura. I don't need an auxiliary. I don't need the subject, porque es precisamente quien hizo la acción el que yo necesito descubrir. Right? But si yo tengo un subject y lo que estoy tratando de descubrir is another detail, in that case, I just need to follow the traditional structure. Okay? That the questions with the auxiliary. Got it? Yes? Or do you have questions? This is the moment. Uh-huh.
I think it is clear.
Are you sure?
Yes, but it's hard just to remember.
I know. If you want, let's see more examples. Look at this. What you want to drink, or what do you want to drink? First of all, let's see. Do I have a subject in this sentence, or do I need to know the subject?
No, I don't need to know the subject.
Imagine in this case, I know the subject. What is the subject in the sentence?
You,
You. So will I need the auxiliary?
Yes.
So in this case, what do you want to drink? That's the best option. Okay. Another detail. Look at this. Who did marry Yoko Ono, or who married Yoko Ono? Do I have a subject here, or do I need to discover the subject?
Discover the subject. The second one.
Yes, I need to know the person, right? That married the other person. In this case, who? Who married Yoko Ono? That is the ones that I need to know. So I know that is a little bit confusing. We just need to practice it a little bit more and remember the rule. Are you trying to find out the subject? Okay, this is the structure that you need to follow. If you already have the subject and you just want to know another detail, okay, in that case, follow the traditional structure. Double H word, auxiliary, subject, and da-da-da-da. Got it? Yes?
yes.
Great. Okay, everyone, let's continue. Oh my gosh, it's late. Okay, those are the the questions without the auxiliary. There is another type of questions, and this is the last ones that we are going to study, the negative double H questions. We can say, why are you happy? That's affirmative, but we can also ask in negative, why aren't you happy? And this is the same as in Spanish. In Spanish, we have negative words. We say, ¿y por qué no estás contento? Or, ¿por qué no has comido? If you see, those are negative questions. And the structure is basically the same. The only thing is that you need to say it in negative. For example, why are you surprised? If you want to say it in negative, easy, just change it. Instead of saying are, say aren't. If you have an auxiliary, you just need to change the auxiliary into negative. When do you want to leave? In negative. When don't you want to leave? Simple. Now, we can also use these questions with the double H words. So for example, who wants chocolate? Who doesn't want chocolate? Which door opened? Which door didn't open? In this case, pay attention here. We have questions without the subject. In the number one, ¿tengo sujeto? Do I have a subject in the number one?
No.
No. So the typical question, again, I don't need an auxiliary. Look, double H word, the verb complement. But if you want to do it in negative, the same question, you will need the auxiliary. Because you cannot say, who not want chocolate? Eso no se puede. Okay? So if you are going to take a subject questions in negative, in that case, you need to add the auxiliary. Who wants chocolate or who doesn't want chocolate? Which door open? Do I have the subject? Do I know the door that was open? No. But if you want to do it in negative, add an auxiliary. Clear? Look at it in this way. If it is a negative question, the only things that you need to do is add the negative structure. If it is the verb to be, just add the word not. If you have another verb or auxiliary, just add the auxiliary in negative. Let's see some examples so you can understand this topic a little bit better. I have some questions here. Let's change them into negative. For example, why did Jim buy the old guitar? How can I say that question in negative? What is the only thing that I need to change? Look.
The auxiliary.
So what will be the negative question?
Why didn't Jim buy the old guitar?
All right, everybody, look. Totally correct. Instead of saying why did, we say just why didn't. Why didn't Jim buy the old guitar? Good job. How about the number two? Whose brother can sing? In negative, what will be the question? I have a modal here.
Yes.
So?
Whose brother can't sing?
Didn't?
Or can't?
If I have a modal, do I need auxiliary if I have a modal?
No, because you can put can't.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the easiest part. If you have a modal, remember, you just need to add the word not. Whose brother can't sing? The other one, where will it rain? Negative. Mhm.
Where will not it rain?
That's the one. Where will not it rain? Negative. Or you can use the contracted form.
Okay.
Where
Where
won't
won't.
it rain? That, be honest with you, when we are using negative questions, most of the time we do it contracted form.
Okay.
We don't say like, why did not Jim? Why didn't? Or where won't it rain? Contraction form.
Okay.
Good. The last one, which cameras had you sold? How can I say it in negative?
Which cameras hadn't you sold?
All right, that's correct. So guys, in this type of questions, first of all, identify the grammar tense, okay? Identify the auxiliary or the modal or the verb to be if you have it. Easy, you just need to put it into negative and that's it. Easy or difficult, this type of questions? Uh-huh.
Medium.
Miriam, what happens is that we are not used to, right? Most of the time we just ask the traditional questions. So we don't usually ask negative questions. So let's have a practice. I have here different affirmative questions. So I need you to change them into the negative ones. Remember, you just need to analyze them, identify if you have an auxiliary or not, and then just put it into negative. Do I have a volunteer?
Me.
Paola, yes?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, why do you work? How can I say that sentence in negative?
In negative, it must be, why don't you work?
All right, is that correct, everybody?
Yes.
Definitely. Look, why don't you work? Now, let me ask you, does the meaning change? If I say, why do you work? And why don't you work? Does the meaning change? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
What is the meaning of the first one? Why do you work?
I think the purpose.
The reason, the main reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Why do you work? Because I need the money. I am hungry. Or because it's my hobby. But what is the meaning of the second one? Why don't you work? This is like, for example, imagine the scenario, you are in your job, in your office, and you are watching Netflix, okay? You are eating, you are chatting, and suddenly appears your supervisor. What do you think? What will your supervisor ask? Why do you work or why don't you work?
Why don't you work?
Exactly. So look at this, how the meaning can change or the intention can change from an affirmative to a negative questions. Got it?
Got it.
Yes. Good. Paola, pick one of your classmates, please.
Robert.
Robert?
Yes.
Okay, Robert, let's see which questions will you have.
Okay. What? How don't you go to work?
All right, do you agree, guys? How do you go to work?
Yes.
Affirmative. And you say, by my car. Or how don't you go to work? That's the answer will totally change. Very good. So, Robert, pick someone, please.
Fernando.
Okay, Fernando, let's see the questions that you will say. Okay, how can I say that in negative? Uh-huh.
What don't you do in the afternoon at work?
Very good. So if I ask you in affirmative and if I ask you in negative, will the answer change? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Totally. Very good. Fernando, pick one of your classmates, please.
Michelle Agreda.
Okay,
Mhm.
Michelle.
Mhm. Who don't you talk to at work?
That's the one. So if you see, it's very simple, guys. You just need to identify if you need the auxiliary or not, and then just change it into negative. Is it clear? Yes?
Yes.
Easy or difficult, the double H, the negative questions.
Easy peasy.
That's
It's clear.
right.
It's clear.
Excellent. Okay, now, because, oh my gosh, we only have 2 minutes. Now, let's start doing the practice again. We are going to choose a double H word, but now you have to ask negative questions. The ones that you prefer, but in negative. Michelle, can you pick someone, please?
Okay, Jackie.
Okay, Jacqueline, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, ask a question using what? Okay, so ask the question that you prefer, but in negative. Go ahead.
Mhm.
You can use the verb to be or a modal if you want, or an auxiliary in the grammar tense that you prefer. You can think in the question in affirmative first, and then just transform it into a negative. That will be easier. Any idea?
No, not at this moment.
Okay, no worries. Guys, a volunteer, help her. What could be a question in negative here? Using what?
What doesn't you need to do on vacation?
Okay, what doesn't you? Can I use doesn't if the subject is you?
It must be
I don't know. Oh,
Okay, in this case, instead of doesn't, what is the best auxiliary?
What don't?
What don't you complete the question? Can you repeat?
what don't you need to do on vacation?
That's it.
Work.
Exactly.
All right, cool. All right, look. What don't you need to do on vacation? Negative questions, just be careful with the auxiliary. If it is third person, use doesn't. But if not, don't. Okay? Clear the negative questions using double H words? Yes, a little bit?
Yes. I think.
Yes?
If we have an obligation with have to, and we negate the question, we remove the obligation, right?
In this case, yeah, definitely. Because if remember that have to in negative, it becomes more optional. So yeah, you remove the obligation in that case. So be careful because again, if you change the question into negative, the meaning will change. The intention will change. Okay, got it?
Okay.
Great. Okay, guys, we don't have more time, so don't worry. We will continue practicing. Don't forget to connect. Guys, we are about to finish this level, so be careful. Don't forget the speaking evaluation and continue working on the platform. Okay? Have a wonderful day, guys. See you tomorrow.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.